Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you've had a lovely rested weekend or had a good one, no matter what you were getting up to. So well, in today's video, we're going to be looking at what is going on in the world of Harry and Meghan. And for the most part, it's going to be covering Meghan's latest podcast episode, plus what she's been getting up to on her Instagram. If you want to follow this channel, then please don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future uploads. If you are interested in the world of psychology, then I use my 20 years experience in the field as a UK therapist, and I give you a better understanding, hopefully, of behaviour, body language, not just what's being said, but also what's not being said, reading between the lines. If you've enjoyed the video, then please don't forget to give it a like, and also don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss further content. That being said, go grab your cuppa, sit back, relax while we get into this video. So hey everyone, well, yeah, I've come back from a weekend like I'm sure most of you have, and she's up to her old tricks again. And it's kind of frustrating. I'm just gonna waffle a little bit. If you want to fast forward this bit, you can. I'm just going to, as a content creator, it's quite difficult trying to navigate a lot of the clickbait. You know, it's hard enough keeping up with what she and Harry get up to. But I get emails all the time from people that I think believe some of the things that are being put out there. So if you don't hear me cover something, there'll be two reasons. One, I don't know about it. I've not seen it. All right, three, because the third one could be that I've just completely forgotten to cover it. But then the other one is that I've seen it being put out by, like, I see a lot of these like automated YouTubers go out and they'll put things out. And like, for example, I was sent an email by somebody who asked me to look into the fact that apparently Prince Harry stormed off the Colbert show because of something that Kate Winslet refused to address him as HRH. So I was like, oh, okay. So I started researching it, couldn't find it anywhere. And all I could see was it was mentioned on these automated YouTube channels and Facebook, Reddit. Now, it's not to say that I don't think that it didn't happen. I don't know. But when I talk about the things that I do, I try to find as much evidence as possible, or like I've said before, I give you my thought process, which is why when I talk about it, I explain to you how I got there, my thought process, so you have a better understanding. I don't just come on and go, no, kids aren't real, don't believe them, end of. I explain to you. So if I don't talk about something, it's generally mainly because I don't believe it to be true. Harry and Meghan do enough without making up stories about them. As much as I understand that people are so angry about them and they're willing to believe some of the things that are being said about them. I mean, like I say, is this something that Harry could do? Storm off? Yeah, absolutely. He's petulant enough, and I'm sure he's done it in his lifetime. But I don't believe this story to be particularly true, like I say, because it's nowhere. So if you're seeing something on an automated channel, take it with a pinch of salt until perhaps you've looked into it a little bit more. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's not true. It just means that if there's if it's not being talked about anywhere else, then the chances are that it's a fabricated story. And it's just really hard because you're trying to get to the truth. And when you've got this sea of fake stories, it's hard to kind of navigate through that. I get sent AI things. Like there's a video going around. There's a video going around where people believe this is Prince Harry dancing with apparently Archie and Lily. All I can say is, if you're watching this and you really do believe it's true, then well, I have a bridge in London to sell you, because you've only got to look closely. It glitches. There's moments when one of the legs disappear, or they blend into the other one and it looks like it's got three legs. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But people, I mean, look, I understand why some people believe things. Perhaps because they're not knowledgeable enough in the way that AI works and the way that the video editing side of things works. But no, this isn't AI generated. I imagine probably from one of their fan base members. But if this were true, then again, the mainstream media would be all over it. If this was a genuine video of Harry dancing with the 2 children that are allegedly his. So no. So yeah, so I'm going to probably, I'm going to see if I can find the video. And if I can find it, I'm going to put it over on my bite-sized tea, because otherwise we'll be here all day with this one. So Meghan's podcast, is it the 4th episode has dropped? This woman creates so much drama. Every single episode so far, she has made it about herself. I honestly don't see the point of having these guests on. I really, really don't. Her podcast should have been called Meghan, Meghan and Meghan, because this is literally all it's about again. And so to garner attention this time, she breaks down and cries about her children. Honestly, give me a break. Give me a break. For the love of all things, honestly, this, I just feel exasperated by her. And I'm exasperated by the media. So yes, I was aware just before, people again have said that they were surprised that I never mentioned the part of the speech that she gave around Murchie losing a tooth, who were about to lose a tooth. And I knew it, I knew what she was doing, so I just chose not to. There's enough people talking about it. I just refused to give her the attention, because to me, this is what I feel that narcissistic personality types are terrible and just awful as it is. But when they start taking attention away from children, it's the low that I feel that just shouldn't even be spoken about. To me, this should never have been mentioned. Anyone that's watching her knows this is what she's doing. We have just had a photograph of Prince Louis. So here I am talking about it. She suckers me in every time. But, well, okay. So, yeah, we had the picture of Prince Louis, toothless. Of course, can't have that. So she's now going to talk about the fact that because we can't see the real child, even though, as I've said before, I believe the child is here in the UK, she's now going to just talk about it. So, of course, that's what people mentioned. She knew that was going to happen. And it was just a veiled attempt to take away the attention from Prince Louis on his birthday. And did it work? No. Even though people mention her, it doesn't take it doesn't actually have the effect that I think she believes that it does. Yes, it gets into the mainstream media, but then so does Prince Louis's picture, and Prince Louis's picture circulated everywhere. Meghan just gets a mention. Oh, Murchie's about to lose a tooth and Meghan has to rush home. Boo, oh, who cares? I'm sorry, but what? Even if this was true in the fact that she's got the boy living there and whatever, still, and so did we have a dramatic post about Prince Louis losing his teeth? We just had a picture, a lovely, beautiful picture of the beautiful boy on his birthday, and he's got his little teeth. He's lost some of his baby teeth. There wasn't a dramatic statement put out for the world to see. Oh my gosh, hold the phone. Prince Louis lost some teeth. And the reason why is because the Prince and Princess of Wales know that this is just a perfectly normal thing that parents go through when they have children. At some point, your child loses a tooth. But no. Meghan has to bring it into a speech, which I don't even understand. I think it's an absolute travesty. And anyone that is talking on that Time 100 event should have been boycotting. I'm not going to do it if she's doing it, because what has she got to offer? Nothing. If you're rewarding a woman who's single-handedly ruined her own family, along with her husband, nearly ruined the family of, certainly ruined the relationship between two brothers, and she's being rewarded for this by being given a platform, by being given speeches, which is all about her again. And so here we have the podcast, And instead of interviewing the lady who is the founder of It Cosmetics, no, she decides to talk about herself and bring in the children again. Now, this is where I find the kind of the weird thing as well is that we've got Harry, who's seems quite passionate, albeit that I am not a fan of Harry, as you know, but he seems quite passionate about his wanting to tackle online bullying with regards to young children. Now, don't get me wrong. If I'm taking a step back from the fact that I dislike Harry and Meghan, I think I agree with this. I cannot not agree with it. Not just because of, personally for me, I think it's something that absolutely needs to be addressed. I don't know how, but it absolutely does. And it's quite shocking the level of vitriol and bullying that is allowed to go on online with no repercussions. And it's not enough to say that it's just free speech. It's reckless speech. It's not free speech. It's not people just having an opinion. It's when you're starting to bully and lie and attack somebody and gang up, in a sense, because it's the equivalent of, like, you know, getting together with a young kid on the street and all ganging around. And I mean, that wouldn't be accepted. So to me, it's like there does need to be some stricter guidelines, whether it's, you know, a collective with the parents, schools, social media platforms, etc. Whatever it is, there does need to be something done. So I do think that that is a good thing, and it frustrates me no end that those two people, in a sense, are attached to it. Because if Harry had been, say, still a working royal, nothing to do with Meghan, then this could have really been a great thing, really something that he could have got behind. But you cannot help but think to yourself, how on earth can you stand there and say that this is what you want, but then as your wife is parading someone's children, whether it be that the real Archie is part of this, and I've said before, there is every chance that she's adopted a girl. So either way, whether you look at it or not, at some points there's been children being used for her social media. The fact that people are applauding her by saying, or some people are applauding her saying, she's trying to keep them safe, she's not showing them. I understand if you want to keep your children safe, if you had children, you want to keep them safe. There's a lot of celebrities that don't showcase their children. Absolutely understand that. However, these are supposed to be two royal children who have royal titles. I'm sorry, you don't get that luxury of deciding that you pick and choose what you're doing. You either do what, in a sense, Prince William and Princess Catherine are doing with creating their own photographs, but you're creating mystery. The reason why the royal family's children are so beloved is because we've watched them grow up, but we've watched them grow up in a very controlled way, with the Prince and Princess of Wales only showing them in the way that they want them and they are comfortable. They understand the need for the public to see the children, but they've done it in a very careful, controlled way so as not to create, you know, the children to be harassed consistently. And now the media is a lot better. There's a lot more respect for the privacy of the royal family. That's why we don't have what happened with Princess Diana and the way that Catherine was treated early on. We don't have any of that now. And so the irony of Meghan and Harry stating that they feel safer in the United States, and this is not an attack on the United States per se, but it's the fact that they say that they feel safer with children in the United States when you literally have the King and Queen walking around fine, the future King and Queen walking around fine, another future heir walking around fine, and there's no issues. Yet these two, we've got one who's literally banging on about how awful it is and how he wants it controlled and he doesn't want the children should be off social media, blah, blah, blah. Yet his own wife is toying with the public with these two children. And that creates a dangerous situation, in my opinion, because it creates more and more mystery. All it takes is one person. And I hope to goodness it doesn't happen, because no matter what I feel about Harry and Meghan, I certainly wouldn't want anything. I know that people feel differently, and I get all of that. But as a person, I wouldn't ever wish ill will on anybody, no matter what. So, but I think that what she's doing is incredibly dangerous. She's creating more and more intrigue and she thinks she's doing it because she wants the attention. And to some degree, she's doing that because of that. But you're getting more and more people getting frustrated with the fact that when you're doing pictures and you're putting pictures up of this, where you see the child, but then the child's got a rose in front. I mean, to me, that you've orchestrated that. These are not two children that are just naturally, you've got someone clearly standing behind. When you've got, say, like photographs like Meghan's one side and the back of the child, you're purposely taking photographs of the backs of children to put on social media when you don't need to do any of that. But the fact of the matter is, she is absolutely now using whoever's children this is, whether it's AI, whatever it is, but she's using even the mere indication of children. It's using children for social media attention. How can you literally do that on one hand and then on the other be fighting against all of this stuff that's going on online in regards to children? It's like, even though we believe what we believe in regard to these children, the fact is that you are using either fake pictures, fake videos, whether she's got a bank of different videos or whatever, because like I've said before, Murchie never seems to age. So it's very possible that there was, that she's got video footage of, whether, say for example, and I'm just putting this out there because I do believe there is a boy. I do believe Harry does have a son. That's why I firmly believe that Harrison was the middle name, Harry's son. I think that's not a coinkydink. But there's every chance that he gets to see the child in various settings. And so there's possibly video footage of this child when he was obviously a bit younger. Because if you look at this picture here where she's carrying a boy, and then Harry looks like he's obviously carrying the little girl. This boy has not changed from this moment. It's like he's still the same size. Now, bearing in mind, is he meant to be, what is he, 6 in May? Is he coming up to being 6 years old? Yeah, because he was born, when was he born? Oh gosh, when was he born? Yeah, he was born May 19, wasn't he? 2019. So yeah, so he's coming up to being 6 years old. This boy is not growing. And you've got Lily, who, as I've said, in this particular photograph, she's got flame red hair. Yet when we've seen other pictures of her, she's got mousy brown hair or dark brown hair. And the same with Murchie. One minute he's got absolutely dark brown hair. When you see this picture here, where the one where it was taken on a supposed Zoom chat, and he looks like he's being held captive. But I actually feel that was superimposed. It just doesn't look real. With her and Doria, he's got very, very dark brown hair. When you look at pictures of him in other situations, again, mousy brown or dark brown hair. And there's just, to me, when you have that amount of messing around and you're creating all this mystery, it's very dangerous. But again, it just shows me that there's just absolutely no way these children are living with her. However, as I've said before, the Colombia trip, there's just something that doesn't flag right to me with the Colombia trip that they had. It just seemed a very left field trip to go to. And we all know that there has to be an agenda. So it just seems a bit strange to me. And I have said before that it does make me wonder if they've adopted a little girl. Because it seems very strange that they had the Colombia trip and then all of a sudden, not long after that, up pops her Instagram. Why didn't she come on Instagram before? She could have come on Instagram anytime. And I think it's a way for her to, because she talks about the girl a lot more. She drops the boy in, Murchie in, on occasion, but she glows about, she's sort of like, which is very atypical of a female narcissist who has a daughter. The daughter is an extension of them. So if they're going to, and I've said this before, this is why I stood by and stand by the fact that she was not pregnant with a little girl. She didn't have a baby as a little girl, because she would be doing what she's doing now. She would be using the children to take attention away from the royal family. And that's what she's attempting to do now. Every time there is something that goes out, every time the royal family, every time there's a picture about the children, up she pops doing something. But when it comes to real events, when it comes to Christmas, when it comes to Easter, when it comes to normal family things, she's not showing anything. She shows a child's hand. Now, I'm not being funny. You can, if you've got people involved in this, which is very possible that that's why she's got the likes of Abigail Spencer and a couple of other people that are probably in on this as well. It's not hard to kind of utilize other people's children just for silly little sneak videos. But I think that she has a little backlog of videos. But I also feel that she's using AI, like the one with the child's voice. The fact that anyone can believe that's real is just beyond me. And if you haven't seen it, here it is.
What do we think, Lily?
I think it's beautiful.
What do we think, Lily?
I think it's beautiful.
The fact that anyone can think that that is real, where she's stirring in the kitchen and then she says, "What do you think, Lily?" And the child sounds strange, like, "Oh, it's just beautiful," like a really weird kind of voice. And aren't they supposed to be? She said they were British, and yeah, it's very strange to me. And the other thing as well is I was watching, like, it always struck me very odd that she refers, when she talks about the children, how they talk, as mama and papa. And of course, I thought to myself, it makes perfect sense, because when I was watching the Christmas outing with Prince William and the children and Princess Catherine, I heard Louis run over, and he was like, "Papa, Papa." So as much as I know that, okay, say for example, if Harry did have children, there's every chance that he would be asking his child to call him Papa. But I just do not see Meghan doing this. I just don't, especially given that it's a very British term, I believe. I'm not saying that some people in America and other places do say this, but generally that I know of, it's a very British sort of high society. I mean, I don't say mama. Oh, mama, papa. If I said that to my mum, she'd be like, "What? What are you? Who are you? No, what have you done? Have you drunk a gallon of Downton Abbey all of a sudden? What is going on?" So yeah, it's like mum and dad, or mumsy, as I call her, mumsy. So yeah, but I feel that again is a dig at William and Catherine. I think that, because like I said, I don't believe that they have children living with them. But so yeah, so here she is on the podcast crying and going on about. But one of the weird things with her again is, this just shows you that she just does the just craziest things. She now emails, apparently, her children. She's created email accounts for the two children, apparently. And before she goes to bed, she emails them. Not that they see them, but she uses it as like a little time capsule. Just take that for a minute. What? What? As in Oprah, what? So she, before she goes to bed, bearing in mind, this is the woman that takes a small book everywhere she goes, pre-records herself reading a story, then sends it to her children or whoever's looking after the children to read so they don't miss Mama reading to them before bed. Yeah, nobody does that. Nobody does that. Because I'm not being funny, there's a thing called FaceTime. If you've got the time to record a story, but also, why do you wait till you go away to do it? Why not do it beforehand? But again, nothing includes Harry. If you listen to her, she says, because I just want them to know they were so loved by their mum. So not loved by their parents. This is her creating, which is what female narcissists will do, creating themselves to be the most amazing parent. It's not about the children. And this is why I've said, when people said she's not showing the children because she's a narcissist, she's not, well, this is proving what I've said all along, that she has to be the most amazing parent. That's why she's listening and watching what other people do. And then she's going, ooh, that's a really good idea. This is now what I do. And so she literally is, I email my children before I go to bed, like a little time capsule, and then I'm going to read it to them. What? I'm not being funny. If you wanted to do it, people, nothing wrong with memory jars, memory boxes. Even want to do a time capsule box where you can write little things and put things in. Nobody, in my opinion, unless they're absolutely weird, emails their children that don't read yet properly or don't have access, because also we don't know what the future holds. We don't even know how the world of emails are going to adapt and evolve. So you could be emailing and that email address is completely redundant and then you lose everything that you've just done. Nobody does that. You would do something physical. We know how she loves her letter writing in a weird font, which, yes, I'm now aware is not calligraphy. Thank you very much for everyone who pointed that out. And so why would you not write things down? I don't think, I mean, how sort of, in a way, how sort of, I don't know, like distancing that. I mean, it's not distancing. Oh, my brain, it's like, what's the word? It's like, you know, when you're just not attached to that, it's not personal. Just writing some words on an email. It's like, I don't think any parent would think about doing that. To me, she's just attempting to sort of seem like this very sort of modern person, but she just comes across so out of touch, like I say. And the fact that you've got Harry and them both campaigning, but this is the same with the Travelist thing, campaigning for cleaner air and all of those things, but consistently using gas guzzling SUVs for trips that don't need to be used, and private jets when they don't need to be used. So it's just the same hypocrisy all over. But again, all the time, the sycophantic media don't call her out on things. She's going to keep doing it. And so, like I've said, do I believe that these children are really living with her? I still stand by that. However, I am of the belief, potentially, that there is now a little girl, possibly, that's been adopted. And the reason we're not seeing her as such is because probably her face looks nothing like the AI picture that we've been led to believe. So she's going to leave it long enough, and then it's very possible that we'll see the child, because by that point people are going to be, it's gone long enough where we don't know what they look like. So they could reel out 2 children in the next couple of years, and because we don't know what they look like, they could be anyone's child. So I think that it's all a calculated ploy, but I think the royal family know. Because if you think about it, why do they never wish Lily a happy birthday? I think they do Archie, I believe, but they don't Lily. And that really speaks volumes to me. There's absolutely no way they would leave her out if they believed her to be really Harry's child. So yeah. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Is there something you thought about that I haven't? Because as always, I do love to read your comments. Don't forget to get your question in. It is coming up to the end of the month. And as always, I do a member question and I do a subscriber question, and you get to win an Amazon gift card. Or if you haven't got an Amazon account, I will put a little bit of something into your PayPal account if you also have that. They are the two requirements, because with people all over the world, it's the only way I can do it. And that's just to say thank you so much to all of you for your contribution to my channel and the support you give me. And it's just a way to give back to you guys as well. We are over 90,000 subscribers now, so thank you so much to everybody. I do have a video coming up, and it's possibly going to go up this week. I was sent something from a subscriber, and I have missed this. I don't know how I missed it, and it feels like a lot of people have missed it because I don't see anyone really that has circulated it. Now, it's possible that they have, but it just wasn't picked up by the mainstream media. Now, it's to do with Tom Bower and obviously something to do with Meghan and Harry. It's very interesting. It's not something that I believe was mentioned in his book, but it was an interview and he mentioned something, and I think it got sort of brushed over, but it's very telling. So make sure that you subscribe. This is not a clickbait thing to get you to subscribe. It's just so you don't miss the upload. It is coming. And don't forget to go across to my bite-sized tea video, because you will see other videos over there. And also I'll be doing other stuff coming up with that are not linked to Harry and Meghan. I'm going to be covering all different things over on that channel. But yeah, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that, because it's a very, very interesting one. And I think it actually proves a lot of things that I've been saying. So yeah, I'm quite excited. So don't forget to get your question in, as I said. Thank you so much. Also, if you'd like to treat me to a cuppa to support what I do here, you can do that and do other things as well. There is my Amazon wish list. You can go and do something. You can write to me at my PO box. There is just ways to communicate with me if you so choose. You can become a member. You can become a coffee member. You can super chat, whatever it is. But the biggest thing is, firstly, look after yourself first and foremost, but also please just watch, like, and subscribe and share. Those are the 4 biggest things to help support this channel and tell YouTube that I am a channel worth keeping. So that being said, I hope you have a lovely rest of the week, but I will see you in this exciting new video, which will probably be going up on Friday. And yeah, so I hope you stick around to watch that. So as always, I love you, I appreciate you, but most of all, I respect you. Take care. Bye-bye.